Hey crafty people, it's Tasha here for Trinity Stamps, and I'm sharing my first project as a design team member. So excited. I decided that we're going to do a little bit of stenciling today. I've chosen the gorgeous Lemon and Leaves stencil set. I know you've seen quite a bit of this because it is definitely a favourite amongst the design team members and the guest designers, because it's just beautiful. But I wanted to change it up a little bit today and show you some other ways that you can use it. So you get the 4 stencils and you just layer them up to create a beautiful lemon leaf background. But I'm not going to be using the lemons today. So I've also grabbed out, this is the A2 Foundations stencil set. I'll have all the products linked below. And basically it's a stencil and mask set to help you create borders around your card, or have space in the middle or wherever, not inked. Yeah, just it'll help you do loads of different things. So I decided that I was going to use this along with those leaf stencils to create a different look. So to start, I cut a panel of Nina £80 with one of the modern embossed stacking A2 series dies. So that's just cut me an A2 panel, and I started by grabbing the stencil that is the biggest frame that has the smallest window. I lined that up. There's laser etched lines on all of the stencils, so it's so easy to line up and get right. So I lined it up with my panel, and then I just put a little bit of removable adhesive on the back of that little, I keep saying square, it's not a square, it's a rectangle, isn't it? On the back of that rectangle, and I'm just attaching that to my card panel. Using that frame is the easiest way to make sure that it is definitely central in your panel. Then I've lined up the largest opening one, so we're just going to have a very small border of white, and then a white rectangle in the centre of the card. So I grabbed the first of the 2 leaf stencils, and I'm just using some of my Catherine Pooler inks today. I use various greens. I'll have them all listed and linked. Unfortunately, I don't have a Trinity blending buddy for green. I'm still completing my collection, so I just grabbed another blending tool that I had in my stash. So I've just gone round blending all of those leaves right the way round. So the stencils that we added underneath, they're going to work like a mask. So rather than having a full panel of the stenciled pattern, we're going to have just a section. And I know that you could get that same look by cutting different pieces and layering them up, but I wanted to make this a single layer card. So I lined up the second leaf stencil. It is so easy to line up. They've got laser etched lines. I'm trying to catch it in the light, but it's really difficult to catch it on film. It's so easy to see, in real life. You can just see that the laser etched lines are sitting perfectly around the leaves that you've already got. So I grabbed out a much darker green and I've added leaves. When I took that away, I decided that I wanted more leaves than that. Obviously you've got the gaps because normally you would have the branches and the lemons, but I'm not going to have them. I just want leaves, but I want it to be a much fuller stenciled area. So I grabbed out I just used the stencils again. So I chose a more sort of olive green shade, and I'm using the second of the leaf stencils, the one that hasn't got quite as many leaves on, and I'm not trying to line that up in the right place because I've already done that, so I've got leaves in that space. I'm just trying to get it in a position where I'm happy that I'm going to have a nice spread of leaves for this green that I'm using. So once I did that, I swapped back to the first stencil again, and I just repeated the process. And you'll see sometimes I do have it kind of where you would expect the panel to be lined up. Other times I completely have it like ski whiff. So I'm just pointing there to say that I was a little unhappy with that corner. I felt like there wasn't enough going on there, so I wanted to add some more. Having these masked off areas, that's only going to work if you've got enough stenciled leaves, pattern, whatever it is that you're stenciling. It's only going to work if you've got enough of that to show that clear line between the masked area and the stenciled area, and I wanted it to be a very clear straight line. So I just carried on, keep swapping back and forth between the different greens that I've got, just looking at the stenciled background that I was creating, deciding where I felt like there were gaps, and where I felt that certain colours weren't in that area, and just kept adding. And you can just do that until you are happy. I wanted to show you how easy it is to line the stencil up, but also you don't have to use it like that. You can do whatever you want with it. So now is the best time. We're going to remove all of the stencils and the masks, and I absolutely love how that looks. I love that you've got that green frame around it, and the really clear lines. Now I decided that I wanted to get a gold line around the edge of the stenciled area, and rather than grabbing out a ruler, because I was feeling lazy, and I also wanted to show you other ways to use these, I just popped the stencil and the masks on that gave me the openings or the straight edges where I needed them to be, and I just used those as a ruler. So there are so many ways to use these nested foundations, stencils. I just think they're brilliant. There's loads of different shapes of them as well. There's hearts, circles, and I think they're fantastic. So I added beautiful gold border around all the edges of the stenciled area, and then I grabbed out the scripty supporting sentiments to choose a sentiment. So another way that you can use these masks, they've all got lines on them etched in so that they're easy to line up. So I just popped the one that is the same size as the space in the middle, popped that back in place, and I used the line that's running down the centre of that to line my sentiment up. Perfect, easy to do. So I stamped the just a note to say, and then I was going to leave it like that, and I showed my daughter, like, look, Jill, what do you think? And she's like, yeah, are you going to put hello inside? I was like, oh yeah, I need to finish that sentence. So I don't know, I wasn't quite thinking. So I grabbed out the larger sentiment set. They're both from the new release, and they just work perfectly together. So I added the hello. So I hope that inspired you to look at your stencils in a different way. Thank you so much for joining us today for this tutorial. If you like what you see, then please hit that thumbs up, and if you aren't already subscribed, I would love it if you would please consider subscribing to our channel. I hope that you have a lovely, happy, safe, wonderful week. Stay crafty. Bye!